Yes, live from Viva Las Vegas, our palatial SiriusXM studios here at the Wynn Hotel. The Power Play is back on the air with a live studio audience, everybody. Yes. I'm Steve Kouleas, host of the show, a man that I brought along after he retired from the NHL, made him the superstar. He's going to the Winter Olympic Games as a broadcaster, former NHLer, friend of the show, Mike Johnson, also from Scarborough, is back.
I'm going to completely take that the audience is here for me, not that we're for Vegas or for you, clearly because I was coming today. My fans came with me, and Scarborough travels well all around.
That's right.
So
now, were you a real McCoy guy like we are?
I was Johnny's Burgers.
Okay.
So
no lettuce.
Never. And also open until 4 a.m., so you could get it whenever you needed it.
Yeah, and we went there, too, because Diane's here, worked at TSN. Yep. We had to eat like at 1 in the morning. You'd go to Johnny's Burgers.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a trip down memory lane. It's a long time ago. It's still open. I still go there on occasion.
Yes. So we're going to talk about the National Hockey League. Big game tonight. You're going to the Olympic Games. How did you find out that you were going to be an Olympic broadcaster, my friend?
I got a call from Shirley Najak, who's like the executive producer of all the Olympics for CBC. I think it was a job or that everybody wanted. That I certainly put my name in there. Said obviously I want to do this. I've done previous Olympics, but never in person. I broadcast 3 Olympics, but always remotely. So from Toronto during Beijing, I was in New York.
We called a game in the tree. Tell how it happens. You go to a truck.
You go not even a truck. You go to a little booth that's about as big as a cubicle.
Like us calling a game right now from Italy.
Off your computer is essentially what we would be doing.
The line, McDavid has it now. Back to Makar with a shot over top of the net. In after. Just
like that.
Yeah.
So, I got a call late summer, early fall, and said I had the gig, and I'm really happy. I mean, I'm
proud of you, brother.
Thank you.
Big hand for Mike. That's good.
But you know what?
Yeah.
We're not going to get too sentimental. Oh, well, we can do this all day, but you were always very good to me when I was starting, and you helped me along, so I appreciate that. But we've done just about everything we can do in broadcasting. We've been at the Olympic, or been at the Stanley Cup Final. We've been at All-Star Games, Winter Classics, whatever it is, 4 Nations. Some of the greatest moments. The one thing I've never done is been at an Olympics. So for me, it was sort of like the last thing that I have not accomplished. So I'm delighted. Like it's 3 weeks. 3 weeks tomorrow I leave.
I cannot wait.
I cannot wait. It's
and I was there in Vancouver, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was, Rogers came out, Bell came out, NBC. I'm like the Jamaican bobsled guy. I'm the one holding the score flag.
Yeah. One of one.
One of one, and covering the event and being there. I called my dad before, and he was in Moscow. And he said, "Who's going to be the Phil Esposito?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he goes, "I like that 87 guy."
Yeah.
And being there in 2010 and seeing it, it's different. The Olympics are different.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got a little taste maybe of the 4 Nations. That was a unique event, but we've been starved for best on best internationally for 12 years. This generation of players that we all love, that are better than any players ever, who grew up watching the Olympics as something they want to achieve. Not like when I grew up, the Olympics weren't a thing for NHL players. 98, my rookie year, was the first year we went as NHLers. These guys want this, and they haven't had a chance to do it. I think the quality and the emotion of those games are going to be something we've never seen before.
Yeah, it's I can't wait. We got a few weeks of NHL action in the busiest January and then March that we're ever going to see. You're old enough to remember 87.
Yeah.
I sat there with...
our 87 stories.
Yes, so 30 bucks.
I was at game 2.
So was I.
Double overtime, whatever it was.
Yeah.
My dad somehow procured tickets right beside the Canadian bench, like literally on the glass. I have Mario Lemieux's stick from that game. It's the only piece of hockey memorabilia that I have in my house. Is Lemieux's used broken stick from that game.
So how did he give it to you?
I was like the little 12-year-old when he walked off. And here you go, kid.
After the game,
after
I was on Gino's shoulders at the glass.
They won it in overtime. They were walking back to the dressing room, and he gave me his stick. I had to brawl people to get out of there. My dad was like, "Don't let somebody take it out of your hands." But
do you remember anyone with a drum?
I don't remember. No.
Okay. No, because I brought the drum to some of the other games. Yeah. We went to like 4 or 5.
I only went to 1.
Yeah, so I was
choice.
At that game.
I could have gone to 2 or 3. I went with bird in the hand because there was no guarantee there was going to be a 3.
Yeah, that's right.
My sister got game 3, so she probably lucked out.
Yeah, and that was incredible hockey, man.
Yeah,
that was in the future.
That was, up to that point, that was something we'd never seen. But I think we'll see. I mean, I don't know if we'll have those moments, those scores, that kind of stuff. But I think with the U.S. and Canada where they are in hockey, the two best countries, there is a legitimate rivalry. I love the American Olympic commercials, them leaning into it, saying, we're going to accomplish a goal. And Jack Eichel's like, Canadian tears. Like, I love them. Like, this is it. They are the two best countries. They're going to go head to head, and I just hope they get to the gold medal together. And then whatever happens, happens.
Okay, so since we're on that topic, we'll save your game tonight, and we normally do last night news of the day. We'll do that a little later because we're here right now. So Braden Point's banged up. We've seen a lot of players. Matthew Tkachuk might return and not be 100% or get banged. Like, somebody sadly might get hurt as well. Let's start from the Canadian perspective. Who starts game one? Does it matter? Because we've seen the Luongo Brodeur situation. Curtis Joseph started in 0-2, and then Marty went in. And right now, points out means if it happens, blank is in.
Now, when you say who's starting, am I the coach or is John Cooper the coach? Because if Cooper's the coach, it's an easy answer. It's Binnington. Like, I think he's going to give him game one. It's Czechia. It's a tough game. And if he plays well, off and running. If he plays poorly, they go to a different option, probably Logan Thompson. If it was me, I'd be watching really closely how Binnington plays in the couple weeks leading up to the first game.
Well, you've watched him. You've probably called his games. Right now, I love him.
He's the backup on his own team.
He can't. See the trouble he has on short side shelf shots right now? He allowed a goal like that at the Four Nations, Jonas Brodin, and the 2-1 goal against Sweden. And just seeing him right now, there's things about post to post. Looks normal, things about his blocker stuff, but he is going down in a butterfly on shots that we VH, and then he's not on. So you're going to not on go with a guy when he is on is one of the best, and he stopped Matthews 3 times in overtime, blah, blah, blah. But in this situation now, I'd say if I'm Logan Thompson, I don't know what more I have to do.
Doesn't matter.
Or does it matter?
Doesn't matter. He can't do anything more. All he can do is play himself into be the next best option, and he's done that. So I think Cooper will go with Binnington. Maybe he's good enough. Maybe he doesn't have to. They're so good. He faces 12 shots and they win 3-2. Who knows? But I think he's the guy. For Point, that's an interesting conversation because they have made it clear, Team Canada's brain trust, that they are going to replace an injured player with not the next man on the depth chart, but the next player that is similar to them on the depth chart.
Which is probably bad news for Sam Bennett. Then. Right. Then it's Scheifele or Bedard or
Wyatt Johnston.
Okay. I had him on my original list, and I was mocked, my friend.
Well, you should be. He leads the NHL. Like, what is Braden Point going to do on this team? He's going to play on the right side.
And the bumper in the power play.
Bumper on the power play. Who's the best power play scorer in the world?
53 right now.
Wyatt Johnston. Now, I think they would go Scheifele first because he's had an incredible year. He's been really good for a while. He offers a bit more size. He can play with some bite. Not a great defensive player, but, if he's playing in one of those top 6 roles, he'd be okay. Bedard still has got to get back up and running for him to maybe jump the queue. But I think they would take Scheifele, but don't sleep on Johnston. If it's going to be similar player for similar player, he's probably the closest comparable to Braden Point.
So let's say it's one of those two. Celebrini, McDavid, Scheifele, or Johnston, Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhart, Suzuki's the third line center.
Marner, Hagel. Stone. See, like I was prepping tonight's game. Would it surprise you? No. It would surprise everyone in here. Mark Stone is 5th in the league in points per game.
Right.
5th. It's
120
McKinnon,
points he would have been on pace
McDavid,
for.
Celebrini, Kucherov, and then Mark Stone. Yes. And I'm kind of like,
how do we explain that this season?
Maybe he's on the roster. Like, what? Of course he's on the roster, and he's a great defensive player. And maybe that 3 feet of neutral zone that's gone will help him not being a great skater. So, but I think they have Reinhart and Stone are sort of similar players. Brainy, defensive, slower. So you can kind of shuffle those guys in and out depending how you want to line things up.
And then where does Wilson fit in?
He's my fourth line is so locked in.
What's your fourth line?
Brad Marchand.
Yep.
Bo Horvat, Tom Wilson. I love that line.
Horvat bumped Bennett.
Yeah. And he played well enough too. Now, what's interesting is that Bennett didn't get sort of the career grace that Binnington has got. Right? Why would Sam Bennett hasn't played better than Bo Horvat this year. He's been on the team because what he did in the playoffs last year, what he did in the Four Nations, what he's done in the clutch previously. But they didn't pick him. But for the same rationale, they did pick Binnington, who has not played well enough to be there this year, but he's there because what he's done in the Stanley Cup final and what he's done in the Four Nations. So it's interesting how Bennett didn't get the same accommodation that they gave Binnington.
So does that have anything to do with?
It has with John Cooper saying, I want my guy Anthony
Well,
Cirelli
that's fine,
there.
but not Doug Armstrong and a connection and Bennett and anything else people have brought. They're going to pick the best player.
No.
Steve Yzerman fought Marty St. Louis, didn't want to do it. Then he said, I'm not doing this again. And it led to trouble.
Fractured their relationship.
Yeah. So in the moment, you do what you got. You know what I mean? Cujo and Pat Quinn.
I remember.
Right? You remember the fake handshake?
His blocker was on.
Okay. Okay.
He straps that thing on tight.
Mac, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking. Yeah. So I get it. If you're deciding who goes to the Olympics and I'm not even ringside, I'm not gonna be happy with you.
No.
You know what I mean? If it's your decision, that's the human element, and it's hard for these guys. I can't imagine when the call came in and Scheifele's like, no. Bennett's like, what more do I have to do? Jason Robertson, we're gonna get to the U.S. What more do I have to do?
Nothing more. What you got to do is go to the World Championships if you're American.
So that's the card that the Lanny McDowell.
Well, Bo Horvat too. He went last year and was great.
I think he
got
made
injured.
the team there.
And and I think Macklin Celebrini helped himself make the team there because he was there, played well, also got along well with Sid and got the Sid stamp of approval.
Yeah,
he's good
when
enough.
Sid asked to play with Celebrini.
Yeah, and then he invited him this past summer out east to the training in Nova Scotia, wherever it is. So, so I think there's a human element. There's a business element where you want to have your own guys there, but it's also you have an advocate in the room. Thomas Harley's got Jim Nill there, not Matt Schaefer.
Yeah, and his play out of vacation last year for Nations.
Right, but he didn't have a great start to his year either.
No,
Thomas Harley.
no.
He's been better lately.
No,
but he hasn't been great. But he was excellent in what he was required to do. But we can quibble. Like I don't want to say anyone on that team isn't fantastic, doesn't deserve to be there, won't be good enough to win. Obviously they are. There's probably 3 players different than my team. Do I think my team's better than their team? Yeah, I do. But their team will be good enough, and they'll be judged on whether they win. If they win, great decisions. If they don't, then maybe you could question some of them.
And I think the core of I've seen your rosters with Craig Meyer. At the beginning, I didn't put 63 on. I waited. I had Johnston on, and then he
was so good though.
Well, then we also were doing 3 tiers of teams, so it's good to I'm making a change here. 63's on, and all that kind of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Don't forget, for those who remember the '91 Canada Cup, where Bill Ranford ran the table after he won the cup in Conn Smythe in '90. I think the only Canadian goalie to go perfect. He was 6-0-2 in that tournament. Steve Yzerman at the end was not on the active roster. The Dirk Grahams.
Was that the one that Eric Lindros played in?
Yes.
I remember watching that at Maple Leaf Gardens.
I was covering it by accident for Sports Channel America, Mike, back in the day. Steve's face. I think about this. At the end of the day, now probably because Steve was the 155.50 goal. So the Dirk Grahams and Steve. So those guys that Mike Keenan. So Mike had to do that to Steve, and then Steve had to do it to Marty.
Yeah.
That's
the responsibility you take when you take that job.
Right.
And you have to, eyes wide open. You're going to have to maybe not pick or not play. Anthony Cirelli might be a scratch the first game. John Cooper won't love to do that. But when you take that gig, you got to know that comes with the territory.
U.S. starts who? And where were you on the Hudsons, Caulfields, Robertsons, you name it, as it relates to, Jones made it originally over Adam Fox. His Fox is, now he's hurt, but has he dropped that much since Norris Trophy Fox?
No, last year he didn't have a great year. So I am far more passionate about the omissions on America's team than Canada's.
So you'd have Robertson on?
Well, okay, if
you're Clayton Keller,
you're gonna pick offensive players. Do you want the one who's got the most points that's American born? I think I might. What are we talking about? How can you you can make a case for anything. Make a case that Jason Robertson doesn't belong on that team.
I have him on my team. I'm surprised. And the Brock Nelson season, JT Miller, they were already on, it seemed. It was very Four Nations slanted.
Right.
They were already on. And it's, I guess, Robertson or Keller.
Well,
Keller won that fight.
You know why?
World Championship.
Keller captained the team last year. They won the first gold in 93 years for the U.S.
The 30s, yeah. So, the second ever real winning a World Championship at that
Tage
event.
Thompson, he scored the game-winning overtime goal at the World Championship to win them their first championship in 90-something years. So they were there doing that.
Was that too political for you then?
I don't care if I'd like them to play for the World Championship, but Bill Guerin made it very clear he would like you to do that. So, you knew as a player, this was something that would help your case. If you choose not to, Nick Suzuki never went, was never gone. He just plays well enough that he's on it anyways. I guess Robertson and those guys didn't give them a chance. And if you're in the playoffs, like you can't go, right? You're playing. So, but Robertson has to be in there. And I get Brock Nelson's been fantastic. He's been so good, and everyone in Colorado has been incredible. JT Miller hasn't had a good year. Vinny Trocheck hasn't had a good year. That's not to say they're not great players. They're amazing players. But if you're looking for difference makers, if you're playing Canada or Sweden in the semifinals or the gold medal game, and you need something, like great players largely can check if they want to. They're smart enough. They get the game. If they want to commit to it in the short term, they can. Now, maybe not Cole Caulfield. You know, he's probably not quite there. But Jason Robertson, totally fine. He's not going to hurt you. Not any more than JT Miller's going to hurt you. So I want the best players. I want the difference makers. I don't want steady Eddies. Everyone on that team's a steady Eddie. That's why they're on the team. They can do anything. I want the guys who are uniquely gifted. Cole Caulfield, Jason Robertson. Now, Lane Hudson's tougher. The American D is so the depth is so good. Adam Fox should have been on the team this year. I get he had a tough final game of the Four Nations. He didn't have a terrible Four Nations. He had a tough final game.
Do you think that goal is also on the resume?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. It all
so on a
fits.
scale of 1 to 10, it's
all part of it, right? And Seth Jones has got the bloom on his rose from the Stanley Cup and how well he played. But again, against the best players,
okay. So
I need someone who could pass. I like Adam Fox.
Put 2 on, take 2 off then.
I would take the 2 Ranger guys off up front.
Okay.
And I put Robertson and Caulfield in. And I would be inclined to take Noah Hannafin off. Hope he's not listening here in Vegas. And put a healthy Adam Fox in. And if not Adam Fox, I put Lane Hudson in. Break in case of emergency.
Yep.
You might not need him, but maybe you do, and he gives you something nobody else has.
And I don't know if you've heard me say it when you've driven around. Bobby Clark in 98 when he came back, and that was the Rob Zamner and Dominic Hasek and everything else. The tournament actually went better for Canada than people think. They never lost a game. And then the kids became good at shootouts.
Right.
You know, that was a different era. And they eventually won tournaments and championships because of it. The end of the event and discussing postmortem was Sakic got hurt. There's your breaking case of glass. Yeah. Adam Oates should have been there as an example. Paul Correa, they went to Recce, but that was late, right? So you're not replacing Paul Correa. But what you're saying is if Quinn Hughes gets hurt at this tournament, Hudson's there.
There you go.
If there's an issue
with
Celebrini
Kyle
can't go, Connor, now you've got Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, right. Here comes Connor Bedard, whoever. Like you have an exceptional player that can do special things.
So who starts? Is this Hellebuck's crease or Ottinger's crease or Swayman's crease?
Am I Mike Sullivan or am I Mike Johnson?
Do each.
If I'm Mike Johnson, Jeremy Swayman, no-brainer. He's been the best goalie of all of them by far. He's playing awesome right now. He's got if you've been around Sway a little bit, and you would have known him from the Four Nations, he's got that juice, that attitude that I'm the best. And you love, like, I want my goalie to, like, walk and talk and carry himself like that. So I'd put Swayman in. And now I think they go Hellebuck, but they don't play Hellebuck every game. There's a chance Canada plays Binnington every game. I don't think there's a chance the U.S. plays Hellebuck every game.
Okay, if Hellebuck starts, Ottinger's getting
this is
the next game because they have they go one off and back-to-backs.
The problem is the U.S. group, very soft. Denmark, Italy, Latvia.
Right, they're already 3-0, and they're already through, and they might be the top of the table.
They'll be the best team, best goal differential, all that stuff. The goalie will not be tested until the quarterfinals, in which case they'll play Germany or Sweden. So the goalie might not be tested until the semifinals. So you're trying to make goalie decisions, and they're all going to have one goal against or none, no matter who plays. So it's going to be harder to decide and make the right call.
So I read something, I don't even know if it's true. You're going to the Olympics. The schedule was determined by the 2024 World Champ. Shouldn't everything go into a smorgasbord that says the World Championship decides the Olympic seedings and schedule? Does that make sense?
Well, how else are you going to rank them? Because it can't be arbitrary. And the Four Nations can't count because there's only 4 nations in it. So what would you use? It's got to be like a numerical. You can't.
Well, what do they do in soccer? They draw.
Well, for the schedule, but the rankings are based on the world rankings that they accumulate from winning games and losing games.
But shouldn't the world rankings include something from best on best competition?
That's what the World Championships is. That's the closest thing we've had.
The World Championship is not best on best, as you know.
Tell me what's the next closest thing. I'm not saying it's perfect, but what else can you use?
Don't you think some ranking that has who won the last Olympic gold medals with best on best?
12 years ago? 4 years ago? No.
None of it should matter?
No, it's got to be
The
current.
World Championship.
Yeah.
Most players have never wanted to go.
I know North American players.
Yeah.
European players love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's a good solution. It's the only solution. Otherwise, it's arbitrary, and you have Steve Kouleas making calls, and the Czech Federation is not going to be happy.
Is a good idea.
It's not going to be happy with the preferential Italian schedule you're giving out.
If you say, okay, if you had 4 pools and says, we're going to put these 4 countries as the captains of their own pools, and we'll draw a schedule. Like soccer, doesn't soccer World Cup draw a schedule?
Yeah, but you draw them from a like bucket. So it's a little bit random, but it's also like, so number 1 seed gets to draw from the 61 to 64 teams. They get one of those 4 teams.
So do you think that's not a better idea?
Well, that's essentially what happens. Like there's 12 teams in the tournament. 1 would get 12 and probably 8, 9. You know what I mean? Like that's how they add up to 13, right? 2 would get 11 and 6 and 7.
See, we know, because the World Juniors, we already know the schedule. 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 5, 7, they flip it up. That seems a better system of fairness of a schedule, does it not?
I mean, like as far as our groupings?
Yeah, don't you think?
But I guess I can't think of another way that would be more fair without introducing personal opinion. And now we can all agree Canada and the U.S. are the 2 best teams, and Sweden's 3, and then we can talk about Czechia and Finland.
Yeah.
But if you got to call which team's better, Czechia or Finland, there's no right answer. So whoever comes second in that decision is going to hate that decision if it's just based on sort of, well, last time this happened, and look at the NHL players, and look at the roster. Can't do it that way. It's got to be based on something numerical.
I know you're going. Are there too many teams that aren't good?
No. I mean, it'd be great if there were a couple other countries that are better that were able to play.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's not available. And the host, Italians are not going to be a strong team. But let's not forget the Latvia double change goal that the in one door out the other. Bob Hartley.
Yeah, that was a
2-0 game for Canada. They barely got by. I remember a game against Switzerland that tied Canada. Was that Vancouver?
Yeah.
Right?
Crosby had to score in the
Late,
shootout in his second chance.
So I remember Shea Weber, Sammy Salo Belarus off his head.
Weber had to score a power play goal 2-1 against Latvia.
There you go.
In Russia.
So you can say that, but if you don't think Germany or Switzerland or Latvia can maybe put a scare with a great goaltending performance, they can. Now Italy and Denmark are. Although what happened last year at the World Championships?
Yeah.
Denmark beat Canada, team with Crosby, McKinnon, and Celebrini. So it can happen. So I know. The answer is no.
Okay.
12 is great.
That's good. That's good. All right. We're going to take a break in front of our live studio audience here. Did you like that? Good stuff, Jess. That was good stuff, eh? I haven't heard you that quiet for 22 minutes ever, my friends. Okay. We're going to take the break. When we come back, NHL tonight, beginning with your game. Vegas, home to Mitch Marner and the Leafs. Leafs lost the other night, but are 8-1-2. Nice stretch. Vegas has won 5 in a row. First in the division. Marner against the Leafs tonight and next week. We'll talk to Mike Johnson about that when we come back. Yes. We are back live from Viva Las Vegas. Steve Kouleas and Mike Johnson. It's like riding a bike being back on with you, my friend.
Well, we did this for about 5 years together, the 2 of us. Now, we're here during the commercial break. I'm sitting here, happy to catch up. People are showering you with gifts out of the woodwork. People just,
Thank you so much. Our friends, I'm going to come out in the break, and can you hear me? You can hear the show out there? This is unbelievable. We're staying. You know the best part about this, so our friends from Anaheim, right? Gave me a Vegas sweatshirt. Steve, thank you for bringing the power play to Vegas. Anaheim Ducks fan, Yvonne, a big hand for Yvonne.
I mean, if she's throwing stuff around, I like the Ducks orange uniform.
You like that?
I take an orange sweatshirt from the Ducks.
A little Mason McTavish.
Leo Carlson. Cutter Gauthier.
Oh.
He's going to score 35 in his sleep for 10 years. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable shooter of the puck.
Ducks need a goalie to help.
It all started so well for them. Oh. And I think Dostal is on the Olympic team. I don't think he's playing. He won't. It's going to be Vladar as the starter for Czechia.
8-1. They won. They didn't play last night, and they won 3-1 the night before.
Yeah. They're last in the league in goals against, I think.
Yes.
I mean, so you love the talent up front, but you're not going to win if you can't keep pucks out of your net.
Where are you on, the save percentage? The 872s, the 879. Some teams like Carolina, Edmonton, Vegas, that we're going to get to right now. Really good teams with way below 897 is the league average save percentage right now.
First time in how many years it's been under 900? It's got to be.
Mario Lemieux, 96.
Right.
The league was at 895. That year he had 69 goals in 70 games. That's the last 30 years ago was the last year.
No.
8-something was the league average save percentage.
Coincidence or correlation that the next year when the save percentage started climbing was my first year. I drove the save percentage up because I couldn't score.
So
that was the problem.
We're going to do questions from the floor in our last segment. You okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think the gang wants to ask about the Punchards, Bowling Green, all that kind of. The Tam O'Shanter story, right? You thought you were going to be driving a cart in the summer job, or you did that? Were you going to work at a golf course?
No.
That's never true?
No.
That's not true, Diane. That story is not. Chris King lied to us.
I grew up beside Tam O'Shanter.
Okay.
Where I first grew up. It's a little golf course in Toronto.
Yeah, but you were never going to work there a summer job or anything, or did?
No.
But you did not, in January 1st of 97, you did not think you were going to be on Matt Sundin's team in 6 weeks?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's the tease.
Yes.
That's the tease. Okay. So in the news, we've got Aiden Hill. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
back tonight, maybe?
Maybe. Darren yesterday on the show hinted that if he might dress tonight and start Saturday against Nashville.
You know, Schmid back-to-back are going to dress him as a backup to Lindbaum. What would you do tonight if you're Vegas? Schmid played last night, been playing decently for them. I would not play Lindbaum tonight.
So you think they're going to go Schmid
either Hill's playing...
Schmid, they're lucky they have him.
Or Schmid, the guy they just sort of replaced because they signed Carter Hart. Like, thanks for your service when he gets here. And
he's won 14 games?
And he's been, by far, statistically their best goalie. He's the only guy who's got a positive goal save above expected.
Matthew Nye is going to play?
So I'm not sure yet. He did not skate this morning. I'm between the benches often.
Yeah.
He grimaces.
What's that like?
It's great. It's fast. There's moments, like I was a decent skater and I thought I could think it okay. There's moments where I watch the game now between the benches and I think, how did I ever play? There's so much going on. And it's much faster even when I stopped 15 years ago. But it's great. And to see like the interactions, it's still amazing. But to Matthew Nyes' point, he's been grimacing a lot coming off the ice. Like his groin hurts or his hip hurts. Like he's playing, but he'll stop and he'll come off and he's sort of wincing and grimacing. Like he's not. So you wonder if he's like, enough. We've like pushed you sort of injured for a long time.
Right.
If Nick Robertson can play after blocking that shot, we'll give you a night off and get you back for Winnipeg, they hope.
Mitch Marner. Mm-hmm. Where were you in the sign and trade for Nick Waugh and what's happening to Mitch Marner in his Vegas time? 200-foot game, the penalty kill, underlying numbers are really good. We always know he could be a great defensive player. He's on Team Canada. He's not on a 102-point pace. But
you knew he wasn't going to be, though. You knew he wasn't going to be here.
And he gets a lot of third assists that don't. Marner to Eichel to Stone to Dorofeev doesn't have Marner on the score sheet officially. That's happened to, you watch like I do. It's at least 5 times. So take me through the beginning. Was it time for a divorce? Was it mutual? Was it 60-40? How did you look at it?
So first off, I don't blame Mitch Marner at all for anything that happened as far as his departure from Toronto. I think a lot of people around Toronto sort of hold it against him that he left or that he wouldn't waive to go to Carolina for Mikko Rantanen.
Which is never going to happen.
Well, his wife was pregnant. Like, he'd been there a long time, and the Leafs had a legit chance to win a Stanley Cup last year. They were the closest team to Florida last year, right? Nobody else got to Game 7.
Right.
They did.
Yeah.
So you could argue, be a weak argument, but they're the second best team in the league last year. So there's reasons to stay for him and to invoke the clause, I am pro player, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a no trade clause or a no move clause, and they say, you want to waive this? And you say no, absolutely, that's your right. You're doing nothing wrong. In fact, they're probably doing something wrong coming to ask you.
They knew the answer was going to be no.
Right.
But they had to do what they had to do.
So I'm saying I don't hold any of that against him. And if he decides at the end of the year, because of his 9 years there or because of the last 9 weeks or 9 days or 9 hours, whenever he decided he wanted to go somewhere, and it probably was closer to 9 weeks, talking to the Four Nations guys about what life is like in Vegas.
Right.
So it was on his mind, which is okay.
Yeah.
We're all humans.
Right.
And if he wants the extra year, Toronto gets Nick Waugh out of it. The whole thing is totally fine. Totally fine on his part. Didn't do anything wrong for Toronto. Now, his time in Vegas, I think people assumed that he would get traded here, sign here to play with Jack Eichel. And there's your first line for the next 10 years. Cool, astute observers of the game like yourself would tell you they both want the puck through the neutral zone. That's what makes them great, really. And so they both can't have it. And it didn't really work well. So that's not that surprising. Doesn't mean Mitch can't be great. And I think that's sort of been part of the journey here is trying to figure out, not with Jack, how to make this work.
And being a centerman first.
And being a centerman. I checked in last night. Last year, the Leafs took 34 faceoffs the whole year. He never played center. Ever. 34 is like...
Yeah, Matthews gets kicked out. They
4-on-4 kick out. 3-on-3 kicked out. Whatever it is. Penalty kill.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's never played center. So that's another thing. But impressively, he's good at it. Not surprisingly. He's such a good defensive player. So it'll be interesting. Be interesting tonight. Now, tonight's a good night for him. He played last night, so he doesn't have to talk to any of the Toronto media this morning because there's no availability for Vegas players. He can play the game, see his guys on the ice, and have that moment, hey, what's up, what's up? And then the game starts, and like I played on 5 teams. Once the game starts, it's over. Now, I might not run you from behind or punch you in the face, but I'm going to battle as hard or harder than against a guy I don't know. If you don't think Mitch wants this game more than last night's, you're kidding yourself. Of course he does. And if you think that Mitch, when he says, I haven't thought about it until today, he's lying. He's lying. And I don't blame him for lying. We all say, no, that's not. You know, the first thing that he did when he saw the schedule come up for Vegas, when do I go to Toronto? When do they come here? And I think tonight will be a sort of welcome back sort of emotional experience against his former team. Next week in Toronto will be more interesting to see how he is received there. But he's a very good player. Toronto's been sort of looking for another centerman for a few years, and they never really tried him. It's interesting how they never really tried him, and yet here, 4 months into his time of an 8-year deal, he's playing center. And
he might be a centerman full-time and into the playoffs, depending what happens with William Karlsson. Like right now, having Eichel and then Marner, down the middle, Hurdle going, you just assumed at that point Hurdle will go back to, but yeah, they've got options. He's running the power play, 5 forwards on the power play because he can. Because he's like a defenseman. And it didn't start that way because obviously Petrangelo's out, Theodore was there, he was hurt. The power play's better when Marner runs it. It's as simple as that. I think we saw that in Toronto this year so far, where their power play has really struggled without a guy at the top of the diamond. Especially the zone entries. Obviously. They were dying. Well, you're the watching bench side between the benches. The Leaf power play finally is going, but people talk about Leafs and scoring. They actually have scored 5-on-5 without him. Right? The penalty kill has been good without him. Like they best in the league since December 8th. Right. So why? Why has it got best of the league? They're great face-offs. Scotty Lawton. Right. Is there save percentage, PK? Save percentage has been through the roof. Those two guys have been good. Notwithstanding what happened in Utah. Wall and Hillby have been good for Toronto. At least making the playoffs? Yeah. I think it's a great pin. Hey, your favorite site has them at 37.3% here. I know. Yeah, but if it's at 30, like you start looking at the, whatever the guys around them are, the team ahead of them might be at 42. It's not like they're at 90. Well, it's in a way is a coin toss. We assume Detroit's for real. I'm still not sold. Montreal's in. I'm more sold on them. Okay, so Islanders on the other side in. Philly in. Islanders? Yeah. No. So they're all 50-50s basically. Like, are you that sure that? So Tampa, yes. One. Carolina, yes. 2. Just they're figured out, okay? And everyone else is up. Everybody, I would have thought Washington would be 2 in the Metro, sort of, but they're not. So I'm not sure about Detroit. I'm not sure about Buffalo. I'm not sure about Boston, Toronto. They're all kind of there. Ottawa, we'll get there again. Do you buy this? Because my grade 12 mark was 38%, Mrs. Uenica, right, Bart? Yeah. Like a shout out to me. If you never take math again, I'll help you get into Ryerson, but you got to promise you're not going to take relations and functions and physics. What is that? Not even sure what it is. So the mark is this. The teams like Toronto, whatever, they need to hand in a 95. The rest of the way? No, they have to hit 95 points. Oh. If they hit 95, that's the number. They can get in. Yep. If they hand in 92, they're not in. And that number might be 89 in the Western Conference. Although it probably ends up higher in the West. Like it probably, it seems to trickle up there to 93 anyways. But yeah, I think that's right. You buy that? Yes. And you start running the numbers. 95 right now? Yeah. Book it. Take my chances. All these teams. Book it. Right. Because I don't care if I'm not third or second. I'm in. I'll take my chances once I get in. But you start running those numbers, and I was doing it the other day for Winnipeg. Do you agree with the numbers? My numbers are right? Yeah, I had the West a bit higher. Okay. Like 92. Right. But basically Winnipeg had... What's so funny? I run the numbers too. Cool. Your numbers are always right. Yeah. Thank you. But I think Winnipeg had, whatever they had, 36 games left. And they needed to they had to basically go 25 and 11. So that's plus 14. So you're looking at 2 losses, 3 losses a month? No. That's the answer is right there. They put themselves in too big of a hole. Yeah, you'd have to rip off 14 out of 15 and then play still 600 hockey. Look what Buffalo's done, and nothing's guaranteed. Toronto,
They just ran off 10 without a loss, and they're out of the playoffs today.
Right.
So all those teams, you go 7, 8, 9 games, that just gets you to the edge. Doesn't get you in comfortably.
Is Vegas the best team in the Pacific? Or it's just going to be Vegas or Edmonton's going to win it, and the other one plays who? Because LA has some issues right now.
The easier answer is the second one. It's Vegas and Edmonton. They're the two best. They are significantly better than whoever else makes it from the Pacific. In fact, would it be better? Could it possibly be better to come second in the Pacific and get San Jose or LA or Anaheim than first and get the 5th best team in the Central?
I'd rather play those teams you mentioned if I'm the Oilers or Vegas. I pick, and then they watch Dallas play Minnesota, and the winner probably get Colorado. Are you a bracket guy or a 1 to 8 guy?
I'm fine the way it is. I'm fine the way it is.
Forget that. We got to go to commercial break,
Yep.
man. I tried to high five him, but
no, we left him hanging.
Mr. Putty left me hanging here.
That's it.
I don't want Gary to get mad at me. It's not changing. We have the format. If Billy Guerin and Jim Nill aren't happy after the first round, maybe they'll make some calls.
If they want to get to the Stanley Cup final, they're probably going to have to go through two of those teams anyways, whether it's the second and third round or the first and second.
Would you like the Oilers and Flames back in the Gretzky heyday to play each other in the first round?
Yes. You know how great those series would be?
Okay.
Do I want Pitt and Washington?
Hand is up.
Yeah.
Now talk to the hand.
Do you want Boston and Toronto over and over?
No. I want to reward the regular season winner and go top versus bottom under any format because I played the best in the regular season. I won the most games. If the two underdogs win and get each other in the second round with the bracket, they don't deserve to play each other.
What was your math teacher's name?
Who is 1 to 8 here? Who's 1 to 8? Clap. 1 to 8.
Ooh.
1 to 8.
Quiet.
Who's
Crickets.
wild card here?
Crickets. Yeah, me.
I'm one. I won it. Yeah. Let's go to break.
The other
Jake, we'll be
problem,
back with
cool.
the rest of the games tonight when we come back.
Not balanced schedule.
Yes, we're back live here from the SiriusXM Wynn Studios in Viva Las Vegas.
Beautiful.
It was great to see Yvonne and Damien out there. Ducks fans live in Vegas. Been a Duck fan since they entered the NHL. It was Florida and Anaheim 93-94, right?
One of my least
Huizinga?
favorite buildings to play in.
Why?
Bad ice.
Yvonne.
And Scott.
Talk to Pat Verbeek and get the ice up to snuff. For God's sakes, Yvonne.
Bad ice and Scott Niedermayer.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't go anywhere. He was the worst guy to play against. You think you're a good skater, you got 10 feet. I got a break here. Quick 2-on-1. He just casually strides back and catches you, takes it from you. I never liked playing there.
What was your favorite rink?
As far as production or just favorite? I mean, obviously Montreal's great.
I think production would make your rink the favorite.
It would be Atlanta. God, they were bad. Oh, it was point night in Atlanta. I loved Atlanta. I was like a point and a half a game. I'm a 120-point player in Atlanta. I only played there 4 times. It's a problem.
How was the ice?
It didn't matter. The defense was so bad. The ice didn't matter.
Who's got the best ice?
Edmonton for the longest time, but really any team that is in a northern climate that doesn't have a basketball team. Montreal, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Ottawa,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Those they have the advantage because their buildings aren't used quite as much. The ice is not covered every other day.
Storylines around the league. Tom Fitzgerald said it's his fault, not Sheldon Keefe's.
Mm-hmm.
The Devils appear to be a team that's going to miss the playoffs. Have you ever been asked to waive or knew you were going to be moved? And how is Dougie Hamilton? Well, he smiled the other night and he had a couple of assists. How is this going to work out in New Jersey? That's one of the main storylines going on right now.
I wish I had a no move protection to be asked to waive, but they didn't give them back they didn't give them as readily as they do now. If I was Dougie Hamilton, my gut reaction to being asked to waive would always be no.
Screw you.
You.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that would be my no. I earned this. I paid for it with term or dollars or something. I bought this. And now you're asking me to give it away for free.
Because you want Quinn Hughes.
Because you want something else. Well, too bad. You made the commitment. I can't walk away from this contract if I don't like it. So why can you walk away from it? Having said that, the second you're not playing, life's miserable. And so my pride of not wanting to waive would be beat out by my ego needing to play. So I think, and that's what he'll do. They've already said they're opening it up beyond the 10 teams that he had on his list, and they're going to try to find a solution because you could be in the best location, best rink, best organization. If you're not playing and you're not being successful individually or as collectively, hockey's not fun. Whereas if you're thriving, you can put me on the moon. I'd love it because you're doing what you want to do and you're doing it well.
The only leverage of the team is they're not going to play then. And then there's going to be a stalemate, and eventually he's going to say, okay.
Right. But he's got a big signing bonus to be paid next July 1. So he'll be easy to trade after July, but they want him out of there now. They need the cap space. So I think he waves, and I think there's a market. If they eat, Dougie Hamilton's not perfect. Fair enough.
Yeah. You want him for $6 million?
Oh, God, yes. 7? Yes. On today's NHL, 100%. And teams have $7 million lying around. And an injury to a guy, the new cap rules, like there'll be teams that can absorb 6.5 to 7. Widely reported, San Jose wanted him this summer. He said, no, they're not on my list. Hindsight being what it is, you think he says, maybe should have said yes.
Hindsight, yeah. Living there, yeah. The team is good, yeah. He might get him into the playoffs. I mean, he's always, basically been in the East, right? So,
Well, Calgary, right? Briefly.
Oh yeah. So, Rangers.
So,
notwithstanding last night, they were probably already really in trouble with Shesterkin and Fox in the lineup.
We've been around this game long enough. There are certain moments for teams in a season, based on how that team is doing, where your spidey senses start going off haywire. And I was watching last night's game, and like it was a 5-alarm blaze in East Cheektowaga. Like it was no good. Something bad was gonna happen. Like that's the kind of game. 6-0. They have the second fewest home wins in the NHL. If you can be crappy anywhere, it's got to be on the road. You can't be good on the road and bad at home. And to lose like that, to go down 6-0 with all they're going through, a new coach. So Mike Sullivan's not going anywhere. And I'm not here to advocate. So like, as a player, you can feel this. Something's going to happen. Demotion, trade, wave, firing.
But not Drury, you're saying.
I am saying Drury.
Okay.
I'm working my way up there.
Oh, so it's
not because I don't want him to get fired. It's just like, this is what happens.
Does this look worse with what Jeff Gorton is doing with Kent Hughes in Montreal?
Sure. It's hard not to compare that the guy that they sort of forced out of there is part of this really well executed and
that's James Dolan? This is James Dolan's decisions.
I don't know how the inner workings of that front office works, but he owns the team, so I guess he's the ultimate decider. But it's we can feel it. You can feel it, and the players could too. And sometimes, cool, and I've been on teams like this, when you get to that spot, you almost become paralyzed until something does happen. You start waiting for the coach to get fired or someone to get traded. And it's hard to get out of the rut until it does.
Do you think that actually mentally helped the Sabres with Kevin Adams?
That one's hard to fix.
Like if I'm Kevin Adams, I'm pissed and I'm saying this is my team.
Yes.
And it's my record.
That's right.
Yeah. And if we get in now and I brought Josh Doan in and
that great trade, Kesselring.
Kesselring, I didn't want to get rid of Peterka. He made a move. That's one that's
and
peculiar.
They started the run before he got fired.
And then they got to NHL 500. Then they almost to say, look, if we win 8 in a row, it's going to be really hard to fire the GM.
We won 3. We got to do it now. Because we can't.
Right.
Yeah, that one's tough to figure. They're fine. I think everyone's happy. Whatever team you like, I think a lot of people will also cheer for Buffalo as a secondary team.
Absolutely.
The market, the fans, the long run of futility. And Yarmo is just, this job's easy. I don't do anything but hire front office people, and we never lose. It's brilliant.
Before we break, you remember you were too young for Gretzky-Dion tying with 137 points.
No.
Dion had 53 goals.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have a favorite Art Ross race? You remember the one in Jamie Benn winning at 87 points?
Here's my story.
Okay.
So that, whatever year that was.
2015, the year before McDavid arrived.
So I'm doing broadcasting a game, Dallas at Anaheim.
I know that game.
And it's the last game on the schedule.
No, we watch it. He had 4 points.
So I'm on the bench. I'm between the benches. And the Dallas guys are coming over to ask what JT has done in the game that is further advanced than there, because they want to know how many points does Jamie Benn need to win the Art Ross.
I didn't know you did that.
It was unreal. See, I think it came out at the end of the second, and he needed 2.
So it was Crosby 84, Tavares 85.
He got to 87.
He got to 86, I think, Tavares, right?
I think it was 80, whatever it was.
Whatever, yeah.
And I'm like, he needs 2. And Siggy's like, we're getting him 2. And he got him 2. It was unbelievable. For a nothing game, then I was like, this is the coolest thing. To see 20 guys bought in only to get this guy 2 points and pull it off. It was brilliant.
And don't think that, to me, because I'm a little down on the voting now, the Art Ross. If I'm going to win one award.
There's no voting in the Art Ross.
That's
you
why.
Just get it.
That's
or
why.
You don't.
That's why, my friend. Art Ross Trophy. Congrats again to Joe Thornton's over Yager here. 125. That was a good race, too, when he was traded from Boston. So, yeah, you guys can make noise. We're going to do questions from the floor to Mike Johnson as we wrap up the hour. And then he's calling Leafs Vegas tonight on TSN. And it's a national game stateside.
Yes,
ESPN?
on ESPN, right 4 hours down between the benches. So I'll be upstairs. And it's, nationwide ESPN and Ontario region for the Leafs.
Good stuff. Dennis Bernstein in hour 2 with Dave Pagnotta. This is the Power Play live from the Wynn Studios in Vegas. Oh, yes. Welcome back, Steve Kouleas, Mike Johnson. How fast was that hour?
It flies by. We do 5 hours, be no problem. I enjoyed the music selections. These guys are who's playing right now? The Killers. Where are they from? Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know
got
that.
someone paying attention back on the big board.
Jake, Bruce, well done.
Well done. I know what's up.
Hey, they want
Willie
another picture of me and no, I'm a country music guy now. They want a picture of me and Mike. So can somebody take one here? Try not to block that camera. So that's going to happen in a moment.
Sure.
We've got questions from the floor, the Scarborough connection, and what else was talked about during the break there?
I don't know.
What were you guys talking about? 87 confirmed. It was Ben with 87 points. Question from the floor. What's your name? Where are you from? What's your question, sir? Nice to see you.
Steve, I feel like I hardly know you.
First time, long time.
First time, long time, yeah. Brian Meck, Minneapolis. Mike, I remember, so it's a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when the Leafs signed you out of Bowling Green, and I think it was like one of the first, if not the first, times that they were signing kids out of college. And so I'd love to hear that story, how that went down. And then I've got a second question about, I know you cover the Leafs, and my question is Austin Matthews back? Ooh. Is he back to where he was before?
Oh, good questions from Minneapolis. Very good questions from Minneapolis.
Second one first. I don't know if he's going to be back to 69 goals. I don't know if he ever gets back to that. But he's much better than he was last year, much better than he was. I don't know what he took at home at Christmas in Arizona, but he's come back moving better. You can see, anecdotally, and also you look at the numbers, more bursts of over speed. You see the shot distance, goals from like 35 feet on wristers, things he was not doing this year that he's done in his career. He's doing again. So he's back to being much better and more the player that they need. As far as my story, I was playing my senior year at university. Scouts were coming around. You weren't really allowed to talk to them. Not like now. You sort of talked, but you weren't supposed to, but you kind of did. I had a sense I would be signing. I sort of made my choice that Toronto was a good fit for me. Played my last game on Friday. I thought we were signing Sunday. Went out all night. Got a call about 8 in the morning. Leafs want to sign you today and go. So I woke up groggily, signed, went down to Tampa, played the next day. So it was a whirlwind, but it was a good start.
Great story. Yeah. Big hand for Mike Johnson, everybody. Mike, congratulations. I know you'll have a great call tonight. Maybe we'll see you at the game and do a great job at the Olympics. I know you will.
I intend to.
Mike Johnson, Steve Kouleas, the Power Play. Dennis Bernstein coming your way next, everybody.